Hello and welcome to another phenomenal episode of Fake Ass Podcast. I'm Brother Ramon.
And I'm Brother Jay. How do they know it's going to be phenomenal? How do we know that? How do you know that already? Can you tell the future?
Yeah.
Then why we broke? Start reading off some fucking lottery numbers.
Let me just explain what the new kids are doing, right? Let's manifest.
Okay.
Want to do a little manifesting this episode?
Not really, but okay. But sure, why not? Why not? No, I'll ride with you.
This episode is going to be super funny.
Okay.
This episode is going to be full of jokes and hilarity. This episode's going to make us a bunch of money, and we're going to be the next Joe Rogans.
You know, somebody said that to me at the wedding. They kept saying that to me.
That we're going to be the next Joe Rogan?
Yeah, and I couldn't.
I'm getting pretty close. Listen, I've been going to the gym too, so maybe.
Yeah, true. Jamie, pull that up. Let's see the comparison.
Okay, which one's which?
Yeah. Can you tell? I don't see.
No, I think they could tell.
Yeah. The fucking racists in our audience. All right. I've been seeing you guys commenting under the Heil Hitler fucking Kanye song, you know? Talking about check out Fake Ass Podcast. It's my favorite. Chill out, dude.
Chill out. You know,
dude.
calm your ass down.
Chill out, dude. All right. You know how I know we're going to make it? Dude, I should start doing this, actually.
Okay.
Just start putting our links in, like, Pornhub.
I've been thinking about that a lot.
Have you really?
Because we're called Fake Ass Podcasts, and our fans are called Fappers, so might as well like put episodes on Pornhub because maybe label the title something different. But I thought about it. There's a lot of interesting videos on Pornhub. As I've never been, but I hear.
I have.
Also, you're a connoisseur.
Yeah, a little bit. I know a little bit about a little bit. You know what I mean? Shout out Violet Myers. You know what I'm saying? But I saw something recently on there. I was scrolling through the hub and I saw a video. Every now and then I'll see one that's just like people playing Minecraft or something, right? But I saw this one the other day that was like, which is
I don't like that.
Yeah, me either.
Because I know the young ones like.
True.
If you see anything about Minecraft and Fortnite, that's big red flags.
Hello.
Obviously, it's an adult website, so it should just be adult stuff. But those scream like, anybody else want a game with me?
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Hey, anyone else want to have a good time? If you don't get your freaky ass on out of here.
Freaky ass, dude. Yeah, no, I feel that 100%. And like, but I saw this video the other day that was like basically this guy, I forget what, it was titled something like, see, this is the thing. This is why I don't like them out. Because look what he's doing right now. He's not doing anything yet technically, but he's close. He's over there fucking with lights. Okay.
Fappers, you guys aren't aware, but Brother Jay has two animals. I think you guys know our creative consultant Pluto and our creative consultant Bucky, and they're both out and about instead of in their cages today, and we're just kind of playing it by ear. So if you see us darting around, looking around, we're just looking at them, just checking out the studio and
make sure
doing
they're
their thing.
Fucking around. You know what I mean? They like to cause chaos. Anyway, there's a video of this guy, and he was talking about how, like his girlfriend broke up with him, and he was like hysterically crying
on the hub.
Yeah, so it was like the opposite of porn, basically, and I found that to be very avant-garde and very hilarious, and just like I realized, this could be a good place for like method acting skit kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because a lot of that is that anyway, right? Like amateur porn is basically a form of method acting, right?
You think so?
A little bit, right? You're kind of completely, absorbing yourself in the role for a short period of time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And a lot of these chicks end up going on podcasts and things like that, and really playing up the like slut stuff. You know, like no porn star goes on like a podcast and is like, oh no, I'm actually completely celibate in my normal life, and I'm actually waiting until marriage, and I'm actually a fully Christian, and all these things, right? Like, it's more like wrestling, where like when Hulk Hogan goes on a podcast, he's Hulk Hogan. He's Very not true. Terry whatever.
Terry from Florida.
Terry Hogan. Yeah.
Terry Hogan.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, it kind of made me realize maybe we should start putting out skits on the hub,
Oh, there's
just an idea. Just an idea. I'm just spitballing here, folks.
You do realize once we start uploading on the hub, they're going to be like, when will these two just fuck already?
True. Yo, maybe that'll be like our ultimate like insanity creep moment. You know?
Us.
Yeah, we just finally it starts off. It's like plug talk or whatever. You know, it starts off us just. That's what I find so fucking funny too about like, uh, do you have like certain porn channels or whatever that are like on the hub or anything that are like not for jerking off to, they're for like because they're hilarious.
No.
You don't know any of those? Okay, all right, let me put you on. There's a few. Okay, one is Plug Talk. Do you know what Plug Talk is?
No.
Okay. So do you know who Adam 22 is?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how he's married to or dating or whatever, that
Lena the plug?
yeah, she used to be a
her name?
YouTuber or whatever, right? So now what they do is they have a podcast where it'll be the two of them and like a porn star, and it starts off with them just being like, "Oh yeah, so you know any good fried chicken spots, you know, in the area or whatever?" And then it just devolves into them like having a three-way with this bitch, right?
Okay.
But the funny thing is it's not edited in chronological order. So it'll be like the podcast is going the entire hour, okay? But just like every 5 or 10 minutes, they'll like cut from like the view of them just talking on the couch to them just like eating this girl's ass or something. Oh, see, this is the shit I'm talking about. Look at him. Look at him. He's being real annoying right now. Hold on.
We'll edit all that out.
Yeah, whatever.
Thank you. Thank you, future editor.
Yeah.
And resume.
Yeah. So behind the camera, there's a turtle tank. Okay, it's a 6 foot long turtle tank with one little turtle in it. He's living his best life. He has a mansion. Okay, and he's still ungrateful. All right. Right before we started filming, he accidentally flipped himself over. I was trying to help him, trying to flip him back side up, and he had the audacity to fucking hiss at me. Okay, like I'm the problem. Like I put him there.
Ungrateful.
Ungrateful children. Anyway, so lately the cat's thing is he likes to walk on the edge of the turtle tank and
living on the edge.
He hasn't jumped in yet, but he keeps being sketchy, and I don't like it, right? And there's there's salmonella in the turtle tank. Turtles have it, and it's just whatever, blah blah. A lot of problems I don't need. Anyway, so it'll be them. So plug talk. So it'll be them like
yes.
Anyway,
plug talk.
So there's still the audio is never like, oh yeah, like the audio is always just, oh yeah, I really like Big Boss fried chicken. It's what I like about them is their chicken sandwiches are amazing, and the whole time it's just like cutting back and forth between them talking and them just busting this chick's back out, right? And I find that so fucking funny because who's watching this? And because it's the worst of both worlds, right?
Okay.
It's like if you're watching this for a podcast, all this gratuitous sex during the podcast is almost distracting, and if you're there for porn, I'd imagine it'd be very hard to beat off while some grown man is over here talking about like what it was like skateboarding in the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
like it's fucking crazy. And then there's another one that I find very funny called Cream Pie Kathy. Do you know what that is?
No.
Do you know Cream Pie Kathy? All right. So Cream Pie Kathy is this page where it's like this easily 60-year-old woman. Okay? She's an old lady. Okay? She looks a mess. Okay?
All right.
She's at that age where women start to lose their hair. Right?
Yeah.
So she's old as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always her and then some like actual hot young chick, right? And it's just a ridiculously gratuitous, I'm going to use that word a lot during this conversation, like basically Mandingo party, okay? And everybody's busting in everybody. But what's hilarious about it is the old lady has like the most insane Australian accent I've ever heard in my life, right? So, and she'll come in and ruin every moment by like whenever like the hot chick is getting it on with somebody, she'll come in there and be like, I'm not good at Australian, so let's test this out. But she'll come in there and be like, oh yeah, get it, and, oh yeah, get it, coming now, yeah, he came in and it's fucking crazy. It's insane. I don't understand how anybody could bust to that. It's fucking crazy. But every now and then, after you've done what you have that moment where like after you bust, suddenly porn looks gross.
I think every man has that.
Right, right.
You know
So,
what I mean? Or I don't know if women deal with post-nut clarity, but definitely
I don't
men.
know. I don't
Lady fappers, comment down below.
Lady fappers is crazy.
do you guys get post-nut clarity? You know, there's some men in the audience that believe that women can't. Not like get post-nut clarity, but that the female orgasm doesn't exist.
I was gonna say, well, I was just gonna say like they would if they, you know, but they gotta be able to come first. So, you know. Dude, I saw this meme recently. It was like, no, I don't make her come. It's her own choice. She's a free woman. If she wants to come, she will. That shit fucking killed me. It's so funny. It's such a hilarious, like, I love seeing things that are like clear rage bait and from like a liberal perspective, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, no, I don't make her come because I'm a feminist.
As a feminist, as a man feminist,
Right.
she has the right to come when she wants and where she wants. Sure,
Right.
I come in 2 seconds, but for her, she takes her time. She's
Right.
a woman. She could come in 3 seconds, 4, 5, or not that night at all.
Right.
And then we'll try again tomorrow.
Right.
Then after that, we'll try again. Then after that, she pushes me away, brings out toys, and then she's able to do it. But that's her right as a woman.
Right.
And as a man feminist, I support that.
Right. Yeah, I'm so not racist that I believe that there should be black only spaces where no one else is allowed, and there should be Mexican only and white only spaces, and everyone has their own spaces so they can be all not racist together.
We'll call it segregation with a Z.
with the Z segregate. Wait, where would the Z be in the beginning?
It's replacing the S.
Yeah, so it'd be segregation.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's cool and it's hip. What do you think about that?
I like better the idea of putting a little accent somewhere and making it segregation.
Bucky, don't show your balls to the fappers.
Look at him. He's showing his. Look at him. Look at him. I don't know how to raise children. They're all animals. You know, all these kids are fucking animals. You know, they all run around naked. And oh, look at that. Look at that. See, he's a good boy when he's good. When he's not fucking with the turtle tank or fucking with the lights. This is the problem with him. Okay, this is the problem. It's the extremes of both, right? When he wants to be destructive, he goes fucking full tilt and he does the most insane shit. But when he's cute, he's adorable. And he's like this exactly 50% of the time. And this is his you know, the duality of cat, you know?
You humans have no idea the power and carnage that I am capable of. The things I will do to you and yours. Don't fucking touch me.
When he's being cool, he's very cool. But when he's, you know, being a little shit, he fucking sucks, dude. This is the first time I've ever had a cat solo, and I don't know if I like it. You know Nate Diaz?
Nope.
He's a UFC fighter. Him and his brother Nick are my favorite UFC fighters. They're insane. Okay, they do crazy shit. They have their special move is called the Stockton Slap, where they just bitch slap a motherfucker in the middle of a fight.
That's it.
Just bitch slap him in the middle of a fight, dude. There's a really famous gif or clip you can find of Nate Diaz. He hit this guy. He like stumbles and he could have gone after him and gotten the knockout, and instead he steps back from him and goes ha ha. Ha, ha. One time there's a fight with Nick Diaz, and he gets into the octagon, and when they're going to like touch gloves or whatever, Nick is just sitting there, and he's got his eyes closed, and he's like, and the other guy is like sitting there waiting to touch gloves. The ref is giving him all the all right, have a fair fight, blah blah, and Nick starts going, "What'd you say to me? What'd you say to me?" And the guy's like, "What?" And he's like, "What'd you call me?" And the guy's like, "I didn't say anything." And he's like, "Fuck you." And then he's like, "You have mental problems, dude." And then the two of them go to the corners, and then Nick comes out and whoops his monkey ass. And it was crazy. But anyway, I love them. They're hilarious. I recently saw a post. There was a quote from Nate Diaz where someone asked him, like, now that you're not in the UFC anymore, you're getting older, you're going to follow the route of everybody else and start doing movies and shit, you know, especially comedies, like people love you. And his exact quote is, "I ain't doing no Hollywood." This is how he talks. "I ain't doing no Hollywood shit so I can go and get my ass beat on camera by some Brokeback Mountain motherfucker. Fuck that." I just love the idea that these fighters who in their kindergarten photos, you see, you know, you imagine kindergarten, everybody's so smiling, sitting there, both of them. In their kindergarten photos, everybody's smiling, the two of them are like that. It's so funny, the idea of like this dude refusing the money and just being like, nah, I ain't getting my ass beat on camera. Everybody know Hollywood motherfucker. It's fucking great, dude.
I don't know what this
love this
guy
guy.
looks like by the time this uploads. I will know what he looks like, but the way you're making him sound and look ridiculous. But I'm assuming he got a bunch of muscles.
No. No.
Oh.
He's a big lanky motherfucker. You know what he looks like? Do you remember in Space Jam the alien, the Monstar that I think took Patrick Ewing's soul?
Mm-hmm.
The big goofy looking purple one?
Yes.
The big skinny one with the weird ears?
Uh-huh.
That's what Nate Diaz looks like.
That's what he looks like.
He looks like that. Yeah. And bottom jaws out like this, and he always talks like he's got a dip in his mouth, man. Like you can hear the punch drunk in him.
You make it seem like this guy
great.
is Joe Dirt in the ring.
No, he's a Hispanic dude, but yeah, he's just a classic. Like I think he's from like Oakland or something. Just like a classic Oakland, just fucking tough guy, dude. He's the shit, dude. I love him.
All right,
he's up there. He's on my Hall of Fame, up there with Don Fry. Don Fry's the shit too. He's a mean motherfucker with a mustache.
Who else is on your Hall of Fame? What is this, Wrestling Hall of Fame?
This is UFC.
UFC Hall of Fame.
UFC. Don Fry's the shit. I do love George St. Pierre. That man got some moves. I love Machida. The Diaz brothers are sick. Honestly, people were hating. I fucked with when Brock Lesnar fought, dude. When Brock Lesnar fought, it was always an event. You know what I mean? That was something you go out to see. I like Stylebender. Stylebender's decent.
That's a big ass Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. There's some good fighters, man. UFC's cool. Don Fry though still is the GOAT. Do you know what Don Fry is?
Nope.
Okay, I'll show you some Don Fry clips later. We'll probably throw it up here, but there's a great video of Don Fry and this Japanese guy, I forget. And when you see Don Fry now, he's really concussed. Like he's really a sad shell of a man.
Well, getting in the ring and digging it out's gonna do that to you.
But not only that. Oh, okay, lost some ice.
Lost some ice.
There's one fight that you can tell where he got most of that fucking CTE from. It was I think it was One or Pride. It was one of these two. It was a Japanese fighting organization where they just put people in like a boxing ring and just have them go at it. And him and this other dude, this huge Japanese just mountain man, the two of them step into the middle of the ring and just immediately, for like 2 or 3 rounds straight, just lock shoulders with each other. I almost said elbows. Just lock shoulders, one hand on the shoulder, the other hand just beating the fuck out of each other. Just literally, there's no style, no combat, no like martial arts. The two of them just one hand on the shoulder, the other hand just punching each other in the face as hard as they can for like 3 straight minutes. It's crazy. And both these guys are huge. And it's just, and they both just go back to the ring. We go back to the corners and just come back and do it again for like a round or two. It's fucking nuts. It's one of the craziest fights I've ever seen in my life because there's no regard on either end for like your own personal safety. No blocking, no dodging, no parry, no nothing. Just old school like that fight in Yu Yu Hakusho where they like throw the knives down.
Yes.
And the two of them are just standing there, just throwing hands at each other. Crazy.
If I keep it banned with you, I wish most fights were like that. We live in Chicago. We live in a dangerous city, or comparatively to the rest. I mean, if you look at it, Chicago's just as dangerous as any other major city. Long story short, though, I wish instead of, people taking the blickies out, people would just do that. Have a problem with each other, shoulder to shoulder, and just punch
crazy.
each other till someone wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
y'all know me. I'm a big loving hippy dippy dude, but like I said in episode 2, 2025 might be the year you need to smack a bitch. So all I'm saying is, if men and women, hey, we're all equal here.
Sure.
If they need to just go at it, just take one hand to hand, shoulder to shoulder, and just
go crazy on each other
till someone just passes out, and then it's like, there, you're done, you're still angry, whatever, you're good, and keep it pushing, baby.
That's wild. Did you hear, speaking of Chicago violence, finally I heard something that I thought is crazy.
All right.
Crazy.
Spill the tea.
Some guy just got arrested in the Loop. He somehow got underneath the sidewalk grates. He was like in them, and he was shooting a pistol up through the sidewalk grate, and he hit 2 people. He didn't kill anybody, but just The level of insanity.
Just so you guys are aware, we're putting the the article right here.
Sure.
Thumbnail, so you know that Brother Jay isn't making this shit
Yeah,
up.
no.
Here's the article.
I had to go find it again.
Wow, read
Yeah.
it for yourself. But
Crazy.
there's the article title from
Yeah.
I'm assuming a credible source. All right.
You're just saying that because he was black. You're just trying to cover our ass, which I respect and appreciate. But still, that's kind of the relationship with this podcast. Is Ramon's always trying to save us money, and I'm always trying to fucking ruin it. I'm like Nick Mullen, I think I sent you this. Remember that clip of Nick Mullen on Stavi's World talking about how they ruined their Cumtown Blue Chew, or was it whatever? It was on Adam Freeland's show on Cumtown. They ruined their Blue Chew sponsorship because Nick Mullen said that all the Hamas terrorists were rock hard on Blue Chew when they did October 7th.
Yes, I remember the clip.
Such a stupid thing to say, but it's so funny to think that like you can't even say that, like that'll get your sponsorship canceled. It's like you're not siding with either side or whatever. You're just being like, yeah, I heard all these guys had hard boners the whole time they were committing terrorism. You know what I mean? Like
That's
imagine,
like if we got a BetterHelp ad and there was a recent mass shooting, and you brought up the fact, we're like, hey guys, we're about to do an ad read for BetterHelp, and this, psychopath somewhere in, I'm assuming, the South where they have guns everywhere, came and shot up another school, and he wouldn't have done that if he was on BetterHelp. Use code FAP to get your first month off BetterHelp. BetterHelp. When you need it, it's there.
have you ever heard
Some
of 9/11?
shit like that. You know what I mean? An advertiser doesn't want to get tied to that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm over here like, all the 9/11 pilots were using BetterHelp at the time, which is why they only put 2 planes into 2 buildings. And they originally planned to put a plane into your house. Into your house. And they didn't do that. They chose not. They chose a public building of finance because of BetterHelp. BetterHelp.
And you know what?
It minimizes disasters.
But they tried to get into your house, but BetterHelp could get into your house instead. Whatever.
Whatever. You tried, man.
I tried. See, there's a reason they're not with us.
I appreciate it. It's a gloomy day. I get it. It's gloomy out.
Well, I'm glad it seems like you had a good week. Everything's all good in the hood.
Yeah, I guess.
What are you giggling about?
It's just funny. I think just like our listeners, we forgot that that's even what the fuck we were talking about. Anyway,
But
what's up with you?
When it came to my week, just a couple things. One thing is I started another job, a second job. To complement the first job, obviously, and the second job, I'm not going to say where, but it is at a pet department store, a big one, and there's probably 2 big ones that you all are aware. I'm not going to say which one I work for, but you could probably flip a coin and realize that's one. So whatever you're thinking, there's a 50-50 chance that's it. But anyway, I started my first...
Pluto, leave him
boys,
alone.
You boys. We're on the pet discussion, and now they're going at it. Anyway.
What did he do? What did he call you? He said something under his breath. I
What
know
did
he
he
did.
call
I know he did.
But when it comes to the second job, I've been enjoying it a lot. This has been my first full week pretty much working there, and all I have to say is 2 points. One point is I hate starting things in general. This is just going to be a Brother Ramon tidbit. When it comes to starting I don't know, to picture anything, just the start of it, not a big fan of. I'm a fan of the flow of things. You get what I'm saying? Like when you're in your groove of your job, your life, whatever you're doing, when you're like got the rhythm and the flow of it. That's when things are enjoyable. But starting anything, what a drag. The only thing that wasn't a drag starting was this.
Nice.
Like the
I
first
appreciate
episode of starting this. Still, if you ask me right now, this is episode 8. Till this day, I still
Damn,
think,
I can't believe we're on 8 already.
I
That's
still
crazy.
think episode 1 is still my favorite.
5 for me.
5 for
Having
you with
Jess
Brother
here was
Jess.
great. I
Hell yeah.
loved having Jess here.
But this starting this podcast was one of the few things that I enjoy the start of. But everything else in my life, not everything, but let's just say like 80% of it, I don't like starting.
You know what's funny is you mentioned that is I was just thinking this about us recently because
What about us?
I was thinking about us. I forget what I was playing or doing, but I remembered talking to you about like you're like you okay. Every time you talk to me, right? is he doing? What is that?
Sniffing.
Oh, that's okay. Every time you talk to me, I'm playing something new.
Yep.
I'm always like, this just came out. I'm trying that out. This movie just dropped. I'm checking that out. I'm always on some new shit, right? And you finish shit, right? If you're playing a game,
you know what? I finish it.
Right.
I finish comic books.
Yeah.
I finish video games. And I finish your bitch too.
Ooh.
Just kidding. I don't. I respect her.
Yeah. More that he respects his girlfriend, not whooping his ass. That's really what it is. But because she got hands, she'll fuck him up.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
She'll fuck. Yeah, she got her. She got her. I told her she mentioned this at work too. That there's one girl, one of our coworkers. She was like, "I'm gonna fight your girlfriend. You know, she's mean to me. She calls me a whore and cunt all the time. Can I fight her?" And I'm like, "Sure, if you want to.
If you want to do that to yourself."
And it was just like, you do realize she punches like a grown man.
Yeah.
I grew up a little more privileged than her. I grew up in a military family. She grew up in the rough streets of Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah.
So she got paws for days.
Yeah. There's nothing scarier than a small white woman dating a large black man. You know, that bitch is scary.
If anyone could take a pounding.
Oh my God! Come on, that's come on. That's
All
like
right.
a sister to me. You're talking about. Well, that's gross. All right. But I realized that you. Oh, I remember what made me think of this. I should have playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 recently.
What about my mama?
You heard me.
As a Persona fan, I know exactly what you're talking about, but keep going.
and there are parts of that game that are hard as shit because it's basically Persona without all the
social elements, a modern day aesthetic, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, it's just the dungeon crawling stuff and the monster collecting stuff, and it gets fucking hard. Like Persona gets hard too, but those games really, really wall you off. And I had a moment of like, I don't feel like playing this, and then I thought about how you are the only person I know that will start a Persona game and then finish that Persona game.
Yes.
And that's it. That's all you're playing. And you've beaten all of them, right? Except for all the real,
the main
4,
line.
5,
I didn't
or
play
3, 4,
1
and
or
5.
2, but played 3 Reloaded, specifically Reloaded. These Persona fans are vicious. Which version of Persona did you play? Did you play the original? Did you play the PSP? Did you play the PSP remake? Whatever.
Fuck them all.
So, Persona 3 Reloaded, Persona 4 Golden on the PSP. Which is like, I'm going to start that bitch soon, and I can't wait. Anyway, and Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royals. Like I told you all, I couldn't beat Persona 5, the base one, because I got to a point where I couldn't push through. But then play Persona 5 Royals and push through that bitch and beat it.
Yeah, and I was playing this, I'm thinking, like, there's no way I'm doing that. I've never done that. I've always, even Yakuza games, like, start them, get about halfway, get burnt out, put them down for a couple months, come back.
So what did it take for you to finish a game?
I don't know. I don't
know?
know. I don't know what makes me... It's rare that I've, like, finished a game recently or in the past few years without uninstalling it at some point. Without, like, putting it down, coming back to it later.
You don't have a problem with TV shows and shit, right? You could finish a show and shit all the time versus like, I'll go all the way up to the last season, then finish it.
Well, because it takes less effort.
Okay.
I don't gotta try to finish a show. It just happens on its own, kind of, But yeah, I don't do that. And I was thinking that about us because I actually I realized recently I love the beginning of stuff.
Oh, you love the beginning.
Yes, I have a friend of mine who one time said to me in a negative way that I'm addicted to new things, right? Which I find to be true. And I was thinking that about us with our workflow and the way we do things and shit is a good balance in that way. Because I was like, damn, this motherfucker really will sit down and finish a Persona game like not in one sitting, but you know what I mean, like in one install, and that's crazy. Like I can't do that, and. Anyway, it's funny you bring that up because I was going to mention that to you at some point anyway.
Also, there's a thing I've been waiting all week to talk about this podcast with you and our fappers is about this. So I started a new job, right? And the key to starting the new job is always training and then like the computer, hey, sit in the computer and do the log training. And I have to bring this up, is about the sexual harassment and assault training. Now, fappers, Jay, we all know consent, sexual harassment, sexual assault, those are all things that should be taken very seriously,
Yes.
and things you all should respect and know of and be
Okay.
aware of.
I'm worried
for
about the butt
helping
coming.
all this.
Okay.
The butt's coming, baby.
Oh yeah, I bet it is. Okay.
But the sexual
go.
harassment training that every job makes us do, there's always a point where you're doing the training and they're giving the scenarios. You see the videos of everyone cracking jokes and this and that, and you're like, and then it says how much you shouldn't be doing this and how wrong it is, and you're watching it and you're doing it like, I'd be telling jokes like that.
Yeah.
Me and my friends just had a conversation like this in the break room.
Yeah.
And that just like, I had to say it online to be like, we all like, there has to be a balance between, and I want to be careful with my words because we are talking about sexual assault and harassment, where it's just like real like sexual harassment, but like jokes and stuff when it comes to sexual or derogatory or discriminatory, that they're real and they should be taken like, no, this is no workplace conversation. And then when you're just talking with your work buddies, because I think about our last job we had and
Wild.
everybody was saying outlandish shit, and we're still in hospitality too, so at this current job we're still saying outlandish shit. So it just feels like there has to be a balance between, like, you do the work training, it says don't say this, don't see that, be careful about this, and then as soon as you log off the computer it's about well, these Mexicans, am I right?
How you doing, dick
just,
butt?
You know what I mean? It just feels like what's the balance? And I want the training program for these workplace relations and shit like that to be more real. And I think what they're doing now is the right thing. They're doing it by the books. I think what I'm talking about is a little more nuanced, a little too picky. It's more of a personal grievance, but I just want there to be some sort of balance between when is it truly a problem and when is it just people just saying shit. You know what I mean? Just understanding that we are humans. We talk about some outlandish stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I've never had a corporate job, as in the suit and tie, the 401ks, although this job I have.
401k.
Yeah, that. See? I don't know.
401k. But
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so told you, never had one, except for this new job.
The education system in this city and on the south side
is horrendous. Anyway,
we just need to do something about it.
But yeah, I've never had a corporate job, so maybe corporate elements are a job. It's like, no, we're not allowed to say anything like that. But fappers, if you work in a corporate job, I'm pretty sure you guys are saying some wild stuff in your cubicles. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is ultimately what I find like that the point of that is like they give you all the do's and don'ts
Yep.
of how anything you say could be used against you in a court of law, and then it's up to the individual you're speaking to and your own discretion on the ultimate thing is if somebody is offended by what you said in that way in a workplace thing, then you're in trouble. But if I go like, what's up, dick butt, to you, and you're like, ha, 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 all right, but, gay boy, right? And I'm like, ha, 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 right? And we joke about it. Then I go to somebody else and go, what's up, dick butt? And they get offended. Now I'm in trouble. You know what I mean?
You're still in trouble for the first one, Jay.
No,
because one of your I just got done with the training. Yes, you are still in trouble for the first one because guess what? One of your supervisor heard that, or not even the supervisor, one of your coworkers heard you call me a dick butt, and they were offended by that comment for it. So now yo ass just got written up.
Okay, but still, my point stands that somebody, like a listener, has to be offended for it to be a problem, right? So in the restaurant industry, you're allowed to get away with a lot crazier shit because the restaurant industry just attracts crazier people. Like there's something that I heard a long time ago in a training in some restaurant, I forget what, and it's hacking, it's gay, and it's stupid, but it is true, is that when you're bartending or you're serving or whatever, anything front facing, anything front of house, you are on stage, right? So just like when I do stand up, like,
or when I do improv. No, continue.
Yes.
And when you do improv.
Right. The difference between failure and success is the audience riding with you or not. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's the same kind of thing. If the audience, like, if you bomb, then yeah, you can get in trouble. But if you kill, then it's all good, right? Like I know I've said some.
You're a king.
I've said some wild shit this week at work. One of my favorite things ever is. So this is starting to happen now with the podcast, now that we're on 8 episodes in.
Yep.
But I'll tell you right now, guys, the shit I say that comes out of this mouth comes out and is gone forever. Okay, it's
Right.
lost. Very, very rarely do I remember things I said in the past, like that were funny or whatever.
Brain of a goldfish.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things ever is when someone comes up to me and they're like, "Do you remember that one time when I, was wearing this outfit and you told me I look like a lesbian Miss Frizzle?" And then you emphasize by that saying a lot because she already kind of looks like a lesbian.
Yes.
And then I'll be like, I don't remember saying that at all, but that is hilarious, and I still stand by it. And it's great because it's like I get to hear my jokes from the other like I get to hear my own jokes for the first time, and they still are just as funny to me, which is how I know I probably said that.
I love when my college friends do that with me because honestly, the older I get, my memory is just that getting older and smoking so much fucking weed. My memory is going foof.
Yeah, me too.
So when I have friends from my college days or even before that tell me about funny stuff and funny adventures that I don't remember, but I said the same thing you say, and just like that sounds like me, and I'm gonna continue with it.
Yeah, that shit could get dangerous, bro. I could be fucking around and somebody be like, "Remember when you said this?" And I'm like, "No, but sure, gotcha, bitch."
Gotcha. Thinking of excuse me. Ooh. Thinking of improv and whatnot and acting and all that, I just auditioned for another improv team.
How many is that now? Like 4?
It's a lot, but I got another audition coming up on Sunday. But anyway, I'll continue. This audition was for TMI. They are a musical-based improv team.
You with these music, okay?
Yeah. And I got a musical this Monday. Unfortunately, you won't see the Brother J 1-minute review this episode, but you'll probably see it for episode 9 because we're recording this on a Friday and the musical is on a Monday. But anyway,
unless we do it, you know what? How about this? We'll leave space for a review anyway, right? But in case I happen to see it, I don't know.
Right. All right, we might edit. Yeah.
Because it might take till Tuesday for this to come out or something.
Sure.
Because of all the things, but you know what I mean? Like,
you know what, Brother Jay, give us a 1-minute review of The Truth About Love, and if you didn't see it, we'll see something else, but if you did, you'll see it. And now,
hey guys, this is Brother Jay of Fake Ass Podcast, letting you guys know you got to go see The Truth About Love Mondays at 8 o'clock at Annoyance Theater the whole month of June. If you love musicals like Rent and Tick Tick Boom and what's the other one? Dick's the Musical. If you like things like that, you're going to love this. It's hilarious. Definitely go watch it. I got to get to work, though, so I'll see you guys later. Where's the fucking money? Where's the fucking money?
And that seems about accurate.
Yep.
But anyway, I auditioned for TMI. And all I got to say is musical improv is a different beast from regular improv. Because you have to be kind of you have to know all the rules of improv and then additional rules to music. And I just felt for my audition group, everyone was fucking brutal, as in not bad, but they were in it. They were killing it. And all these auditions I've been doing this year is I come as Ramon. I've been doing this shit for 13 years. I'm gonna keep it chill. I'm gonna keep it me. I'm gonna do what it do, and normally kill it. But this one, I was not. It's when you're someone who plays very high level and you always feel like in the zone and strongly at whatever task you're doing that you feel like you're really in it. When you're not. And when I was in that musical, based on everyone in it, I did not feel like I did my best. Obviously, if I did my best, I'd be on the team. I didn't make it, didn't do the call and anything like that. So. And I knew that going out of it, of just like, yep, this isn't my day. But I love that feeling of, like, I need to get better at something. Sure. You know what I mean? The new team I'm auditioning for, New Team Smell, they're also a musical-based improv team. Hey, behind the scenes, Brother Ramon here. Just giving a little note, New Team Smell is not a musical improv team. They are regular old improv. Back to the episode. So... hopefully that goes well. You'll all figure out about it if I do get in next episode or not.
Yeah.
But if I do get into it, that'll be another team on the block. And
what did you do for your audition?
Audition was one group song.
Okay.
And then a 2-person scene that you had to sing in.
Hey, behind the scenes, Brother Jay here. I just figured, as long as we're doing editing notes, I wonder how long until we're going to get some bitches from this podcast. I mean, you see that forearm. That shit's sexy as hell, right? All right. Anyway, back to the episode.
Okay, and what did you do?
I did a 2-person scene.
But how did it go? Like, what happened?
It just wasn't that good. The chorus was not that great. The verses were whatever. It just didn't. It was okay. But there was the other guys. They were just killing it. They were just hysterical. They got the choruses. They got the physicality. It was just hysterical. In the group number, we did a song about like pinballs and being playing at a pinball ring or something like that. And I remember people stepping out and doing their individual stuff because it's a big group number. We don't have the time for everyone to come out and have a moment. But the people who did come out and sang really stole the floor, took it in, and for me, I didn't even get up. I just, was doing chorus and background dancing and singing with that, but I didn't have the urge to step in because everyone was like fucking sharks. It's an audition, so everyone took the moment, but you can't be too thirsty if you're doing a group improv, because improv in general is a group team sport. You know what I mean? We can't be too competitive, but in audition, you are competitive. You do need to stand out, so you can't seem too desperate. You have to remember to yes and be there for your scene partner and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting dichotomy.
But yeah, I didn't make that audition, but I loved it, and it just got me thinking that because I'm in this city, I'm truly trying to become one of the best improvisers there is in this city, but to be the best improviser is not an individual thing. Right. To be the best improviser is to be the best team player. How can I make other people stand out and look good while also making myself stand out and look good? You know what I mean? So there's a balance between trying to be the best at something that's a group sport or a group game or team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel that. That's I don't know. I feel like that's something I would and the more you're describing it, the more fun it sounds to me, but I know already that just my version of that wouldn't be the same. Like I'm always getting sent reels from people because I do this all the time of other examples of people doing this of like shit like, we built this city. We built this city on cock and balls. Built this city.
Pause this for 1 second. We talked about this at work. I don't know, 2 years ago.
Really?
No, it's about not this, but I'm gonna bring up. Do you remember the Negromancer?
Yes. That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Do you want to explain the Negromancer to our fappers?
Okay,
real quick?
okay. The Negromancer.
You got buckle up for this one, folks. Buckle up.
Okay. So the Negromancer it's a skit idea we had. This is like probably the first skit we ever thought of together, or anything
before fake ass podcast,
before we even considered actually writing together. This is just us at work, just fucking around, just coming up with bits. And this one skit we had of like, okay, so it's like a inclusive D&D group, okay. So it's like an all like like liberal, like inclusive, whatever D&D group. And one of them is like, hey, can I invite a friend of mine today? He's played D&D, he has a character, whatever, he knows what he's doing. His team disbanded, he wants to join ours. And the rest of them are like, all right, yeah, sure, but, is he a person of color? We want this to be a safe space for people of color, blah, blah. They're like, oh, yeah, he's an Asian dude. He's a young Asian guy. And they're like, all right, cool. Asian girl would have been better, but it's all good, right? Right? Whatever. Is he gay? No? All right. Well, he barely passes, right? So he gets in. Everybody sets up their characters, whatever. He sets up his. His character is called the Negromancer, okay? And what he is a Southern gentleman, like a Colonel Sanders type character, right? And he actually has no magical powers of any kind. Like his highest stat is actually probably like charisma, and he has these two. Ramon, what would you call his familiars?
Servants.
I guess. Yeah.
We'll call them that.
Yeah.
Folks, but two of them.
Yeah, and one of them is a intellectual.
Indoor and outdoor.
Yeah.
We'll say it like that.
Yeah,
one's a little more this shade, and the other one's a little more.
A little more Drake.
Yeah.
A little more Trey Songz. And the Trey Songz one is has a high intellect stat, great dexterity, things like that. The other one has a high endurance stat, high strength, things like that. And whenever he's like casting a spell, right, he'll be like, I cast a charm on the bartender, and then the light's gonna just come up and be like, what's that, Shouty? How you doing? What's up,
And
baby
now
girl?
when they're fighting a half orc, they'll be
Yeah.
like, Draymond, go.
No, not even
It'd
that.
be
Not
like,
even that.
I'd cast, I beat
Yeah.
up, I take my battle axe
Yeah.
and I slash the orc. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you got-
and then DeAndre just goes, picks up the axe, goes over, starts chopping at them, so obviously they're torn on this because on one hand the group, the D&D group, and the skit keeps jumping back and forth between like the tabletop and the actual in-game shit that's happening.
And let me rewind it for a second. The reason why this Asian gentleman picked Negromancer because he's new to D&D. He got the call from a buddy saying like, "Hey, buddy, we're gonna do D&D. Are you down?" And he's like, "Yes, I'm down, but I really don't know anything. Who should I pick?" The guy on the phone says, "You should be a Necromancer." But on the phone, he didn't hear Necromancer. He heard Negromancer. So the young Asian gentleman is like, "What? What is that? A guy that summons spells and stuff it's a Necromancer." Again, he's hearing Negromancer. So he's like,
yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. I'll be back with this character. So he links up on the night afterwards, and he brings up all these stats and his backstory for the Negromancer.
Yeah. And we had this one scene in mind where like, there's like a goblin in their group, and one of the merchants is like, "I'm not selling to no bloody goblin or whatever. I'm not buying goblin gold or whatever it is." And then immediately in character, the Negromancer steps in and he's like, "Sir, I will not have you be racist in my presence." And he like totally doesn't get like what it is that he's doing. And he's just a crazy old man who really thinks he's casting spells. And then there was another scene we had where like one of the in-game characters pulls aside one of the indentured servants. And they're like, "Hey man, like you don't have to put up with this shit. Like this is fucked up. We can get you out of here. You know what I mean? We can have you gone by tonight." And they're like, "Look, man, we understand how this looks, okay? But to be real, I was a fucking, I was cleaning up a bar before this happened, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The other guy, he was, a like low-level employee at a arcane library." All right.
Yeah.
Like we weren't doing shit with our lives. Now we get to travel. He splits all of the gold with us and all the treasure 3 ways. You know what I mean? He's like, we're making more money than ever. I get to punch a motherfucker or two. You know what I mean? He's like, it's all right. You know what I mean? He's like, my man over there. He's like, he's smashing all kinds of dragonborns and goblin bitches in these bars.
He's in the room with an elf right now.
He's in the room with an elf right now. You know what I mean? and the whole time is the tabletop people don't know how to deal with this situation, and then they realize like, are we the ones being racist by assuming that they're slaves and by assuming that this is like a really fucked up scenario, but it's actually just a crazy old man hanging out with his friends?
Yeah. I don't think this sketch could ever work.
No.
But I'm glad we finally told this sketch idea on air. But I think it's always the funniest. I remember going and telling my D&D friends back in my college days about that too, and some of them definitely found it hilarious.
It would be really funny to do, but just the casting and everything else, like the budget would be crazy because we'd have to have whole D&D sections that are like in world, you know. And of course, immediately, you know who I'm thinking to play the Southern Gentleman? He would never do it. Actually, he might if we give him the whole pitch and we make sure it's in good faith. Sam.
Oh, Sam could do anything.
Sam could do anything, but I imagine his big lanky ass, his tall lanky ass with like a white mustache. We put him in, you know what I mean? The whole like basically like Colonel Sanders witch hunter looking fit. You know what I mean? He looks like a medieval aristocrat almost. You know?
Yes.
That would be fucking funny.
That also brings me up. Not this conversation. Brings me up.
Brings you up, huh?
Right.
Okay.
You bring me up, dude.
I know you.
The fappers bring me up, you know. But this is the last night of the sketch show.
Oh yeah,
I was in the retail.
Yeah. It's good.
It was a fantastic run. Hopefully, some of you guys saw it, and if you didn't, well, sucks for you. But it's the last night. I think Jess and Emily did a phenomenal job. Very proud of both those ladies, and I have a musical on Monday. And you saw Jay's 1-minute review, or you saw something else wacky instead. Yep. But either way, I think that's gonna be a good show as well. It's gonna be different.
I agree.
Sketch show.
We should try and get Jess on one more time before she moves.
She has a week.
Maybe we film another one real quick.
We'll see.
Get it out the way. Spend an editing day filming with her real quick, and then
maybe we get a little Jess cut out.
What do you mean?
Like a cardboard cutout of him?
Oh, nah, maybe. You think you can get any of the other cast members on? Besides Sam, obviously, we're going to have Sam on.
And from the musical?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, not the musical. The Devils in the Retail.
Maybe.
I would love to have the Parker Posey chick, or the Divine guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, the drag queen would be great. What the fuck are there? I know. Her whatever drag persona is Pearl
John.
Harbor, which is hysterical to me. I fucking love that.
We'll see. I could do some talking, do some
yeah.
feeling out. I don't know if
Let's
any of
see.
them watched the episodes, or it'd be nice if they did.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know, I'm looking outside with this old gloomy day, and just got me thinking. Last time I was feeling down and out, which was last week. I've been waiting to tell this story on the podcast before we head on out for the day.
Okay.
But I met a producer and writer of movies, or a movie, while out with my beloved the other day.
Okay.
So we went out, had a date downtown, and we left dinner, had a good time, and then it was like, hey, let's go take her to our job. She's never been there. So I parked on somewhere, I think on State Street, just on the side next to that seafood restaurant. Is it seafood? I think it's Brown Bag. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Parked right around there. We went inside our job for like 10 minutes. We got a beer, and I showed around the spot. We were just sitting there for 10 minutes. Then I walk out.
Not much to see. It's cool, but it's just a sports bar.
Yeah. And I walked out, and my car was towed.
Oh,
so I instantly,
you told me about,
so I instantly felt like, damn, I was having a good day. I was feeling great. And then this happens. Very similar to today, but that's another side story. But just feeling good. And then all of a sudden I get shot down, and you know, I'm super upset about, because anytime having your car towed in the city is such a fucking headache.
I fucking hate, dude.
But my lady was, like, you know, keeping me centered, keeping me sane, keeping me grounded. And I'm like, good, I appreciate it. So we was like, fuck it, let's go get the car out right now. So we get an Uber, and the Uber comes, and it's this white guy, kind of older, you know, very Midwest looking, just cool dude. We'll actually put a picture of him up here because he is a producer and a filmmaker.
If he wants that. We don't know if he
doesn't have any social media or anything. His name is Michael, is either Bozeman or Busman or something like that. And the movie he made, one of them was called Halloween. It has Danny Trejo in it and a bunch of other B. It was a B horror movie, like CD, like a low budget stoner horror movie that came out in the early 90s, 2000s. If you guys want to watch Halloween, it is on Tubi. But it was funny running into him being an actor, improviser, and just like he picked us up. He gave us a spiel, and then I was like, I let him know that, hey, car got towed, because we were just about to, you know, head back home at that point. But it was like, oh, I know where your car is at. It's probably at Lower Wacker or whatever. Yeah. So he took us to Lower Wacker. We got the car out, and he waited for us around the area just to make sure we were all good and everything. Once we were all good, we sent him on his way, and we'll probably never see him again. But if you ever get Uber in the city, he's somewhere around. And if you look up this gentleman, he also has done other, like, just good Samaritan shit around the city when it comes to just like being there for people and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So that was very fun to come into, because again, got my car towed, I'm feeling low, and then the Uber driver that picks us up is a writer, producer. I try to exchange information and stuff like that, but he was like, no, I don't have socials. You know, you got my phone number here and there, but, you know, I'm not doing too much at the moment. You know what I mean?
You got his number?
Believe I did.
Word. Okay.
But again, he's not doing too much. I mean, he's just Ubering right now, but he let us know, hey, this is the movie I did. You know, look at my IMDb, you know, whatever. I got other stuff.
You are so dyslexic today.
You know, whatever. Listen, I'm not here to be Mr. Accurate.
Yeah, the Southside education system in the city is
there you go.
Shambles.
But yeah, I guess the moral of that is just going with the flow of things. You know what I mean? When even life gives you fucking lemons, is just continue to adjust, continue to move on the best you can, because you never know what's going to happen in front of you. Everything happens for a reason. You just got to be open and accepted to it, the good and the bad. You know what I mean?
I fully agree with that. That's All right. That's what this tattoo's about. This one right here, the Berserk, right? So this one, the center is the sacrifice, the brand of sacrifice, right?
Yep.
And thing around it. So real quick, TLDR version. In Berserk, something really bad happens to him, the main character. He gets his brand of sacrifice. He was supposed to die, get eaten by demons. He does, and he survives. Him and his lady survive, and that's it.
Spoilers.
Spoiler. Well, you know.
As in, like, no, me to cut you off.
Sure.
I've been reading Berserk, which is fire, Fappers. If you haven't read Berserk,
amazing.
Please do. That shit is
Goated.
fantastic.
Favorite
but
manga.
Where I'm at right now, volume 12.
Favorite manga. Right here.
That's happening right now.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you've already seen the movies, so you already know this.
Very true. But I haven't seen them in years, so.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anyway,
Well, fair enough.
continue.
Anyway, so that happens to him. He gets the brand of sacrifice. That's when the story actually really starts. It's almost like his version of like Peter Parker getting bitten by the spider, right?
Yeah.
And that's where he actually becomes the Black Swordsman or whatever. And he essentially is like a Ronin. He's wandering town to town, killing demons, helping people, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, a few arcs later, he meets this little witch. The witch is like, helps them, whatever. Then they're like, she's like, let me introduce you to my mother witch or whatever. Let me bring you back to my village. So they go back. She introduces them all to the mother witch. The mother witch sees Guts' brand of sacrifice, which is on his neck. And she's like, I know what that is. And he's like, that's crazy because no one does. That's weird that you do. And she goes, and I also can give you a Band-Aid for it to make it so like, because what it does is it splits the difference between like the real world and the demon world. So he can see demons can see him. So it's like hard for him to sleep. It's hard for him to rest, hard for him to do anything because anytime he's like chilling and by a campfire and actually trying to get some sleep, within a couple minutes a fucking demon will show up. And even if it's a little one, he'll just have to be like, fuck you. And then like go back to sleep, whatever. So she's like, I can put a thing on you that makes it so that only really strong demons can see you. And then you only got to deal with them. So you don't got to deal with the fucking the chaff anymore, right? So he's like, that'd be great. I would take any help I can get. So she's like, bet. So she puts this black thing around it, and it's like a seal, and it protects him from low level shit. So I was wanting that tattoo anyway, and I was going through some shit at the time, and then something good happened. And long story short, I agree with you. That's what the tattoo's about. It's about the idea of like something horrible can happen to you, but if you just keep pushing, then eventually you will be introduced to things that will either alleviate that pain, make it better, change your life 1,000,000% for the better. See, and this is why he's always locked up, because he loves yelling at people. Stop it. All right. That's how forceful I am. I know. What did they do to you? What did they do? Why are they like this?
Easy.
I know. Why are they like this? Okay. But yeah, man, that's awesome. We should reach out to him, see if he wants to come on the podcast or wants to talk shop or anything like that. That'd be cool.
With that being said, that wraps up this episode. Got anything else to say to our fappers before we call it a day?
Like, comment, subscribe, sub to the Patreon.
The vibe, baby.
Yeah, so that my man doesn't have to have 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 5 jobs like a Jamaican. You know.
Yeah, please do. And we do have a TikTok now. So follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, we are on TikTok now. We're posting shorts and stuff like that there. We haven't done any like exclusive TikTok content or anything. We might, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Check all the socials, follow, like, subscribe. It's strange to me that we are getting
closer to episode 10. Woo woo.
Yes, and also like we're doing this weird thing that I don't see often, where our views are way higher than our subs and our follows and shit. So
what you're trying to say is please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Like, comment. Bell notification on YouTube. Whatever. Tell your friends.
All that fun
etc.
stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to make some fucking money.